Up with KREM begins now.
Thank you for joining us this morning here on Up with KREM. This morning, the Spokane Regional Health District will start administering the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine to first responders. It'll be a drive-through vaccination clinic at the Spokane Fire Training Center. In just a few minutes, we're going to talk to Nicole Hernandez, who joins us live to talk about the first responders who are eligible for a COVID vaccination in Spokane. But first, before we get to Nicole, we do want to take a look outside right now. Still dark way to start our Monday morning as rain is set to return. That's the promise Jeremy Legoo has for us. But what else you got for us today, bud?
Oh, I got sunshine too, but you got to wait a little bit to find that sunshine. This morning, we're starting out with a little bit of light rain, starting to slowly work its way into the region. Later on today, it's heavy rain. In fact, as we get into the afternoon, expect rain to really be falling. We'll get to why here in just a second, but there's those temperatures. We're up above freezing across, well, the Columbia Basin, into Pullman, Moscow, even here in Spokane. Coeur d'Alene, Sandpoint, you might get a little bit of snow. Coeur d'Alene, it might be a couple of flakes. Don't expect any accumulation. Sandpoint, you might get about an inch before it transitions over to rain. It is going to transition over to rain rather quickly. This first advancing bit of moisture is arriving along a warm front. That warm front will spread rain in. In fact, by the middle part of the day, expect rain to be heavy because today we're going to see about as much rain in a matter of, say a few hours as we saw both Saturday and Sunday. All that rain that melted all of that snow. Yeah, we're getting all of that again. So it's going to be a soggy day today, but don't worry, sun returns to the forecast tomorrow. As we scoot through the day, expect wind to pick up as rain dies down later on this afternoon, or as the heavy rain kind of arrives. It's going to be windy and rainy through the second half of the day. Wind gusts up near 30 miles per hour at times, so it is going to be a bit breezy, but temperatures stay mild. Today, we're in the low 40s. Tomorrow, we're climbing. Temperatures will be back up near 40 as sun returns to the forecast.
We're going to get rid of those final little traces of snow that might still be sticking around from the Christmas holiday, yeah? All right, we'll check back with you in just a few minutes, Jeremy. 6:01 now. Overnight news from across the pond as a man in the UK has become the first patient to receive Oxford and AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine.
Now, the 82-year-old says that this vaccine is the only way he can get back to normal life.
Well, the vaccine means everything to me. I mean, to my mind, it's the only way of getting back to a bit of normal life.
The UK authorized the vaccine just last week. Now, it's not approved in the United States. It's easier to store and transport than the other ones from Pfizer and Moderna, but it is not as effective.
As we look locally now, high-risk first responders will receive their Moderna vaccine in Spokane today. Time now to check in with Nicole Hernandez, who joins us live from the Spokane Fire Training Center, where that drive-through vaccination clinic is set to take place this morning. Good morning, Nicole.
Yeah, good morning, Joshua. So this fire training center here right near Spokane Community College is where high-risk first responders will be coming down to get that COVID-19 Moderna vaccine. The drive-through clinic will be opening today, and Spokane County EMS said that they actually trained some of their workers to help give out the vaccine. The health district says they'll be available to give out 24 vaccines every hour. That means in the next 10 days, they'll be able to give 3,000 high-risk first responders their vaccine.
So it is very important that they're immunized to protect them as well as to protect those that they're working with. So we had like 3 different seals of approval, which is more than we've ever had for any other vaccine. So I want to reassure everyone that these vaccines are as safe as any other vaccine, if perhaps not even more.
The health district said there's already been 22,000 vaccinations given out in Spokane County. First responders are just the next group to be eligible to receive it. The interim health officer says getting the vaccine is a personal choice, but hopes people choose to get it as more clinics open up. And in just about 2 hours, we will be talking to one of the first responders actually receiving that vaccine today. That will be happening live on the CW22. In Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
6:03 now on your Monday morning. President Trump is still trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election. His latest attempt comes with a phone call to Georgia's top election official asking him to find votes.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
Now, in audio of the Saturday phone call first obtained by the Washington Post, Trump pressed Georgia's Secretary of State to change the vote count, citing disproven claims of fraud. Georgia did recount its vote multiple times before certifying Joe Biden's victory.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong. 2 people that were dead that voted, and so that's wrong.
President Trump and President-elect Biden will also both be in Georgia today to campaign for their party's nominees in the Senate runoff elections. Looking at stimulus checks now, which are still being rolled out as we speak here this morning. Now, if you aren't still seeing your $600 payment, don't worry, you are not alone. The deadline for Congress to get you your stimulus money is January 15th. Now, as a reminder, if you made $75,000 or less and filed your taxes in 2019, you qualify for the stimulus money. If 2 members of your household combine, so each making $75,000 or less, your household would then get a total of $1,200 in that stimulus money. All right, time for your morning rush. More news in less time.
First, Portland police are looking for a man who escaped police custody on Saturday. Police say 25-year-old David Dalen is accused of hitting an officer with a pickup truck on Christmas Eve. The officer is still recovering from injuries. Dalen was in a holding cell at the Justice Center in downtown Portland and waiting to be interviewed by officers when he escaped. Officials say they still are not sure how he got out.
Certainly, it's not something that's happened since I've been an officer with the city of Portland, and talking to officers who've been here longer than me, it's something that they don't ever remember happening. So we're going to get down to the bottom of it and figure out what exactly occurred.
Warrants for Dalen's arrest include attempted murder, assault and assaulting a public safety officer, unauthorized use of motor vehicle, and now escape. Portland police don't believe he's a threat to the community, but they still like to get him back in custody.
An outpouring of support is being shared online to honor a powerful activist in Spokane. Deb Abrahamson was a longtime activist on the Spokane Reservation. She died on New Year's Day after battling cancer for half a decade.
She hurts no more. You know, this cancer took a real toll on her body, but it didn't affect her mind and her soul and her spirit.
The chair of the Spokane tribe, Carol Evans, says Abrahamson led the tribe in a fight against nuclear energy and for the preservation of a clean earth.
In Montana, 14 flags were used on top of teepees in honor to tribal leaders and their lives that were lost due to the pandemic. Last Tuesday, the flags stood for each of the 12 tribal nations in Montana, the state, and the U.S. They were planted at 7 of the lightning of the teepees, a symbol of hope display. The organizer of the event says each teepee symbolizes the hope and unity of those who suffered loss in 2020.
A new Washington law now caps insulin costs at $100 a month. Health plans issued or renewed in 2021 must keep co-payments, deductibles, and other forms of cost sharing under $100 per 30-day supply. Washington follows in the footsteps of several other states trying to get a grasp on skyrocketing insulin prices. Those states include Colorado and Illinois. That's your Morning Rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKrem on social media.
Well, let's take a look at what's trending this morning on your Monday. To kick it off, the final 5 episodes that Alex Trebek taped as the beloved longtime host of Jeopardy will air tonight. Trebek, who lost his battle with pancreatic cancer in November, will be honored during the showing of his final episode Friday with a, quote, special tribute to the life and work of a man who captivated America's favorite quiz show with skill, style, and sophistication for 36 plus years. Now, according to a statement from Jeopardy producer Sony Picture Television, so that's what they said, that's what they put out. Trebek's final episodes were originally slated to air during the week of Christmas, but producers pushed the show times back because they said the holidays might be too chaotic for viewers to tune in. The Canadian-American game show host announced his cancer diagnosis in March 2019, but powered through the taping episodes for the 2021 season before passing away at the age of 80.
For 35 years, I've enjoyed the success of the show, but I've never really thought about the impact the program was having on American viewers. And I've become part of their lives.
The Canadian-born Trebek was more than qualified for the job, having started his game show career on Reach for the Top in his native country.
I gotta say, Dana Marie, it's kind of surreal. I was actually, believe it or not, I was hanging out with my brother a couple weeks ago, and we were watching an episode, and it was just, it's still mind-blowing. We talked about it, that you're watching an episode of a guy who's not here anymore, and you ask, where was his mind when he was recording that episode? It's just going to be so surreal to be able to celebrate his life and the impact. And I don't know, maybe it still hasn't hit some people.
Yeah.
I think it's such a gift to be able to have those 5 episodes. And like you said, Joshua, he's not here with us, but clearly in spirit. And, you know, and another interesting thing is how will the show go on in his honor and who will replace him. But I'm just excited for all you Jeopardy fans out there to have those 5 final episodes.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Well, we'll keep you updated on those episodes as well. Any news coming out of that story as well, right here on Up with KREM. Still to come this morning, new variants of the COVID-19 virus continue to hit South Africa and the United Kingdom. But after the break, our Verify experts explain why it's normal for a virus to mutate over time.
And rain returns to the forecast today. We're talking a lot of it, but don't worry, there is sunshine in this forecast.